What is up, everybody? We're taking a look at some standard deck text today, featuring some major cards from Wilds of Eldraine, the newest set from Magic the Gathering. We just finished up this Orzhov Auras deck, and it was really fun. Could use some tweaks here and there, but it was really fun to kind of play. We're going to check out this Golgari Dredge combo deck. This Undying build that I've got going on. We checked this out the other day, and I just want to give it another whirl. The features of this deck are obviously really strong black cards from Standard. Black is the strongest color right now. Cards like Liliana, cards like Go for the Throat, Edict, Tenacious Underdog, Cut Down, Duress, Shieldred, obviously. We've got some new additions like Ashiok, which helps us draw some cards. We've got some inclusions of the big cost virtues because we want to cast the sorcery size of these really badly. Virtue of Persistence is a great removal spell that pays off really strongly in the end. We've got some Bramble Familiars for ramp, some Urborg Repossessions for life gain and Dredge, and then stuff like Willowgeist, which kind of triggers off of our sort of headlining card here, which is the Mosswood Dread Knight. This is an Undying Knight. You can continuously draw and lose one life and then replay it and do all of that over and over again. It has Trample as well, so it is a fairly strong card. The only tricky thing is that this doesn't play really well in the self-mill kind of Golgari graveyard play because you want to cast this from your hand and get it onto the battlefield normally. So if you are doing that kind of build, you're going to have to factor in a lot more returning things from your graveyard because you can't cast this from your graveyard. You don't want this to hit the graveyard from your library. You want it to hit the graveyard from the battlefield. Yeah, it's just really strong, obviously, because it features a lot of the really powerful black standard cards right now. But what once was the weakest color in green has some really strong pieces right now, so it's not a terrible deck. It's fun to play. We're just going to check it out. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad that green has kind of picked up a little bit and has started to get some really powerful brews going in Constructed. It's one of my favorite colors to play, and it's been kind of in the dumps lately, so it's nice to have some interesting pieces to build around. It's nice to have some fluid additions to already strong decks like the mono black kind of mid-range stuff. So we played a few games with this the other day, and it was a lot of fun, and I want to keep playing it. I do have this built in paper as well. Very excited to sit down at a table and give this a whirl. So we've got a Painland, a Swamp, a Liliana, Virtue, Bramble Familiar is good. I think this is a keep. Got a turn 2 Familiar, turn 3 Liliana. I don't hate that. If they kill anything quickly, we can Virtue of Strength it. We've also got Virtue of Persistence that gives us access to some removal, which is nice. I'll take the 1. Not my favorite, but it gives us a little bit more ramp, so that's good. I would like to draw, I guess a land would be nice. We're seeing black from our opponent. They could just be doing the normal standard black stuff. Oh no, they're doing ninjas. Okay. So I think we're going to Restless Cottage Liliana here.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it.
I don't want them to have
Off
the
you go.
activatable ninjas. The nice thing about Inkrise Infiltrator is that it's flying, so it's difficult to block, and it's also got sort of fire breathing, so it makes you not want to block it at all. This is very good for us. Do we want to discard something?
Drop it.
Guess we can throw out our repossession. They threw out a fake your own death. Interesting. So we're gonna go in and hit them for 2. I really like another land so we could activate Restless Cottage. Oh, I guess we have Bramble Familiar. We could do that anyway. They're gonna make us recast it, though. Sure. Kill that. Death Cap Blade. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll make the food. I guess we can just keep Liliana there with 2 so that we can kill something if we need to. Network disruptor. Okay. Interesting. Okay, thank you. Huh. So I'm assuming that they have the removal. But I guess we have to push it eventually, right? Let's do it this way.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Let's do a discard. We'll get them down to 2 cards in hand. They threw out 1,000 faces. Okay. I'm gonna save my Virtue of Strength just in case they kill Shieldred. The 1,000 face shadow is interesting. It feels like they're playing a limited. It feels like they're playing a limited ninjas deck. Some of these cards just aren't good.
You couldn't be more annoying.
Do I have 7? I don't have 7. So I guess we just do this and go all in. We take away a 1,000 face shadow, I suppose.
Drop
some
it.
Discard. I don't really care if our hand is that empty. Like, our board presence is strong. Even if we have nothing in our hand to do with the mana, like. Oh, maybe that sequence. It's not good, actually. Oh no, I threw out the Bramble Familiar, not the... So I just need to draw... the Graveyard card. Sure. That doesn't trigger your Prosperous Thief, though.
You're gonna need a good Undertaker.
That is not enough. Creature card in defending player's graveyard. Okay. So we're just gonna do this. Doesn't really matter at this point. Block. Nice little chump. We'll just get rid of Liliana.
Fine, I'll take my zombie. Haven't you ever heard
Next
of
turn we can
personal
edict
space?
their Long Reach, Animus of Night's Reach. We'll see what they drew. We haven't gotten a land in a minute. We've been a little stuck. But we just need to figure out a way to do 2 damage to them. Which I guess we can't do if we animate the Restless Cottage. If we could find a Back for Seconds or another Urborg, maybe a repossession, I think that would be pretty handy. We haven't seen a Knight yet. I'd like to get one of those. We only have the 1 Virtue of Strength in our main board, so maybe Urborg repossession the Virtue of Strength back. And we can kind of like daisy chain some graveyard action. Right now I think they're just roping us out of bad sport. I don't think they're thinking very hard. Yeah, it just seems like their deck is very interesting. It's just like a bunch of not good rogues and ninjas. There's some really strong ninja builds out there. This just isn't one of them. So yeah, we just don't have the mana to pay for the Restless Cottage. If this, it gets whenever it attacks. So it does block as an 0/4. But I mean, like, it doesn't matter at that point. I guess it would end this roping thing earlier. It's just like even this Long Reach of the Night card just didn't play as strong as people, I guess, initially thought it might. It seems like a really strong card on paper. But it's just kind of not. Yeah, I can't do that. Oh, don't concede. We're just going to pass. Oh, they're back. Interesting. Welcome back. Pass to attackers. My turn, eh? Okay. Did you have fun in the match? I guess so. I wish that Arena let you look at the top card of your library after a match. That'd be nice. So that game, I guess, like worked out all right. It wasn't exactly how we drew it up, but we wound up not being too bothered by the creatures they were playing. We were able to get rid of them in a timely manner. We just didn't get like our recursion engine going, which is a bit of a bummer. I think that there's an argument for putting 4 underdogs in this deck rather than just 2. But I'm not sure what we would cut in that instance, so that deck was also not very aggressive either. I don't know what they were... I mean, I know what they were trying to do with the cheap ninjas play, but it was kind of a little soft. So I'm going to keep this because we've got a tap land on 1 and Bramble Familiar on 2. Hoping that means we can play whatever we need to, and we're playing white-green enchantments, so that's going to be interesting. Actually, you know what? We're going to kill that. That's going to help them out way too much in the near future, so getting rid of that early is strong. Alex got it back. Right. So I need another way to kill the creature. Next turn we have 4 lands, 1 dork. So we have 5 mana next turn. I need 6 for Storm. Okay. That's bad for us. Strong. I don't think we have Field of Ruin in this deck, do we? And an Audacity. Dang. Nice, okay. Turn 3, deal 7. Make a second Audacity? Make a second Ossification. Sure. I think we're kind of just boned here. If that Calyx gets any bigger, we're gonna have to chump it. They might just have another Ossification waiting in hand, too. Commune with spirits. Okay, that's a decent sign. If they play that, I think we're in the clear right now. That's an 11, so we're gonna no blocks that. Oh no, they can just make another Ossification. Oh, they don't have another... Oh wait, they do. No! Okay, fair. Fair, fair, fair. Wow, okay. I can kick... I need a way to gain life. I could exile the Calyx. I could exile the Calyx, or I could return nothing. Wow. This guy just good games me. Yeah, it's tough. They're still gonna do 2 damage next turn, so. Shoot. Okay, you don't need to keep playing cards, just hit me. Alright. You're gonna BM me, I'll leave. That was rough. Calyx is really strong. Which is weird because I swear I looked at some of the recent lists for standard and the enchantments deck seems to have taken Calyx out. But Calyx really owned me there. We just didn't really get going. We drew 2 Bramble Familiars and an Ashiok. It's not really enough, and we couldn't keep the Bramble Familiars on the battlefield, which made it a lot tougher. One more turn, and we could have... I think we can keep this. We can Willowgeist on 1, and hopefully Duress on 2. Or... we Duress on 1. They are playing real nasty stuff. Okay. Interesting. So they're playing like white-green enchantments, sort of. Ramp. I don't know what I hate the most. I guess ossification is probably my least favorite part of that scenario. Okay, they did not get the lands they need for... We've got removal. They still don't get... They need a second green for all their... for their Ren. That's rough. We get more removal. Okay. I don't want any of this right now. We're just playing... Oh, they still don't get the second green. I don't know why you would keep that opening hand if... Nothing doing here. We'll take the one at a time. Oh my god, they didn't get it either. Okay. We got a card. We got a useful card. Yeah, we've drawn like all of our removal. We're good on lands though. We need one more to cast. Oh shit. I mean, that's fine, yeah. I mean, it exiles them. Oh, maybe I should have killed them. I can't repossess anything because there's nothing there. What is happening? Sure.
For the sake of Phyrexia, I will keep watch.
Oh, yes, please.
Don't understand what went wrong. I pull one thread, and your entire mind unravels.
Um. Just gave me all the ammo I needed. I mean, not all of it. Oh, mill me again,
Phyrexia's
please.
plans are already in motion. In time, surrender every last thought to Phyrexia.
Heck yeah. Okay. So, I'd like to make a token, but I don't think I can. I guess I can if I do this. Next turn, I can just return Shieldred. I just haven't been able to find that second green, eh? Oh, there we go. They might be able to get it. Hey! We got another cottage? Okay. So we're going to bargain this. Oh, one off. We were one off. I mean, we have underdogs and enough mana to cast both next turn, so as long as they don't mill us out. They did get their green, though. And they got a third green right afterwards. That's a bummer. Oh, shoot. That's bad. Damn. Okay. Okay, sort of a whip. I don't have enough to do that. Starting from scratch. I know they have a board wipe in their hand. Oh, they have more than one. Okay. This is not looking good.
If this is my final fight, then I must.
I can't believe they
Fight
gained
back.
that much life. Like, that's terrifying. Oh. That's so backbreaking. They went from 1 to 33. Exile cards. You gain 1 life for each card exiled this way. Damn. Can we come back from this?
Please.
Not if we
Buy us
draw
more
lands,
time.
we can't. Save the Wren, makes sense. I have 1 more turn before the Wren gets out of control. I'm taking 8.
Allies everywhere. Stand with us.
Go down to 18. I can't even swing through. They didn't attack with it? Okay. Oh. Now's not the time for that. But I suppose, see what they're working with. Oh my god. Yeah, no, we're done. Next turn they can cast lands and permanents from their graveyard. No, there's no way. Holy. That deck was brutal. This Titanius command completely won them the game. We had them down to 1 life, and they went immediately up to 33. Combination of Jace milling me, and then Titanius command exiling everything. Definitely a difficult deck for us to play against with this current build of this deck, but it's super interesting because there's lots going on, and we almost had them. We just weren't fast enough. If we had gotten an underdog or something a little bit earlier, we would have been able to do that 1 extra damage. Just a shame. We were real close. Game 3, let's go. That deck was complicated. About 73 fishes is our opponent's name. Okay, so we've got no green and just a familiar. We're gonna mulligan that. Oh, this is way better. I think we throw out the repossession. And then we cottage. Turn 2 familiar, turn 3 Dread Knight and Geist. I'm playing black-red so far. Bloodfell Caves, got it. Do not cut down my raccoon. Don't do it. Oh my. Come on. It's just a little raccoon. I need 2 greens, unfortunately. Actually, I didn't need 2 greens. I was gonna cast the backside of Dread Knight anyway. Okay. Good job. Good job. So it's going to be tricky to stick stuff against this deck, I believe. Oh. Especially with that.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
Crap.
Off you
Gain a
go.
life. I guess we just send children out. They probably have more removal. Or their own shield, maybe.
Don't overthink.
What do I throw out? Throw out the land. Hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt. I'll draw. It's even. I'm gonna force you to block with your shield drain. You're gonna kill my Dread Knight? No, you're gonna make me discard something. Oh, perfect. Oh, this is a sorcery though. Frig! Almost perfect. Rats?
This was boring. I'll be back.
Oh, you are gonna make me sacrifice. That's
Sacrifices
fine.
must be made.
I can just cast it again immediately. I'll do that. We'll do this. And we'll do that. Okay. So Underdog's out. Dread Knight can come after. We're 1 mana short of the Virtue. Oh. What? That was a bit of an odd choice. Okay, now the question is, do we activate Restless Cottage? Or do we just play Dread Knight Familiar? I mean, first of all, let's attack with Underdog. They probably won't block. And we can play Familiar. Dread Knight. We've got 2 cutdowns in their yard. They probably have 2 more in their deck. Maybe 1 more, if we're lucky. They chose to exile my Bramble Familiar, though. Oh, boy. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh, please attack with Lord Skitter. Oh my god. I got so excited there. We get another Restless Cottage. Okay, that's not good. But it does mean that we can play this. Okay. So they're going to potentially make a bunch more rats. Terrifying in general. The idea that their username is about 73 fishes and they're making a billion rats is also terrifying. What? Okay, so I think what happened here was they accidentally swung with Lord Skitter. That was a shame concede right there. Which we'll take. We'll take the shame concedes day in, day out. But they kind of had us on the ropes a little bit. Obviously, Virtue of Persistence was going to start pulling stuff onto the board in our favor. But from where they were sitting, like, there was no reason to not continue to try. So I think that was 100% a shame concede, which, hey, we'll take those. So we went 2-1 with that deck. We went 2-1 with the other deck, I believe, as well. This deck is so much fun. I love this deck. This is my new favorite standard deck. It might not be powerful enough to stick around forever. But green is one of my favorite colors to play. It brings me back to when I first started playing Magic. And the idea that you get to partner some really interesting green cards and green synergies with a bunch of the strongest cards in Standard right now, which are the black cards. You've got like Cut Downs and Duresses, Underdog, Edict, Go for the Throat, Liliana, Shieldred, all these really powerful cards that are continuously at the top of the rankings for Standard right now. You get to partner that with some really cool stuff from green, like Storm the Festival. Willowgeist is interesting because we've got Dread Knight here that continuously just gets rebirthed. Yeah, I really enjoy this. Restless Cottage is also my favorite of the new creature lands from Wilds of Eldraine. This is probably my second favorite card in the whole set so far. It's just a lot of fun to have in your back pocket. Yeah, I think that there's an argument to be made about getting 4 underdogs in here. I haven't really built a sideboard, but my sideboard would consist of, more Duresses if we're playing a spell heavy best of 3. Haywire Mites, generally if you're playing that anti-artifact enchantment game. Sentinel of the Lost Lore is a really cool card because it's very versatile. You can bounce your adventure cards back to your hand and recast them, or you can have some graveyard hate, which is really strong. Stuff like The End is going to be really popular for playing against decks like ones that have Shieldred in it, or that board wipe heavy deck that we played. That one would have been good to have The End in there. And then we've got the March of the Machine flip Shieldred, because this one's interesting for late games. This deck has an ability to be really fast, but it can reach to the mid-range to late game kind of vibe. So if you're playing a matchup like that, it's pretty good to throw Shieldred and the True Scriptures in there. Otherwise, I think this is it. This is the deck I want to be playing all the time. Again, like I said, I built this in paper. I'm just missing 2 of the Bramble Familiars in the special treatment art. Otherwise, completely ready to go. Yeah, I think the only thing that feels a little awkward in this deck is the Liliana, but I don't mind discarding cards from my hand and having the option of controlling my player's board, because I've got so many ways to bring that stuff back from my graveyard. I think the only thing... I'm not a huge fan of the Duresses here, but I think that they're just a viable standard, a good staple to have. I might bring in more repossessions or a second back for seconds, or a second Virtue of Strength. This card is really cool. I've never actually cast the Virtue side of it yet. Virtue of Persistence we've cast a bunch of times, and it feels really cool. It's very game ending because every turn you get something back. But for the most part, Virtue of Strength is just a great 1 mana sorcery. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. I think it's really neat. Obviously, Urborg Possession kind of does a similar thing, but you gain 2 life, which makes up for some of the life you pay with Tenacious Underdog and Mosswood Dread Knight. I think it's cool. I love this deck. Check it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, it would mean the world to us if you could like the video or comment. Let me know what changes you would make to this deck, and subscribe to the channel. We love having you here. Thank you so much for enjoying Magic with us, because this is so much fun and I enjoy participating.